Coming up, a man receives his sentencing after stealing a police car.
Authorities arrest a suspected bomb threat caller.
And we'll have a look at your local weather with Lucas Hicks and local sports with Joshua Harrell.
Your News Valdosta starts now. Welcome to News Valdosta. I'm Stacy Bush.
And I'm Jennifer Dandrin. Officials in Tift County say they've made an arrest for a bomb threat called in yesterday at Tift County High School. The high school's office received a threatening phone call about 9:50 in the morning, leading to the immediate evacuation of the school. Authorities arrested 17-year-old Orante Garman at about 2:30 yesterday after tracing the call back to the school building. Tifton police arrested Garman and say they expect to charge him with a felony of transmitting a false public alarm.
39-year-old Cook County Detention Officer Bobby Gail Moore of Hayhira, Georgia, was arrested Monday and charged with one felony count of giving false statements to a government agency. Moore also allegedly had inappropriate contact with inmates and is currently being held out of town awaiting bond. Moore worked as a detention officer for roughly 6 months at Cook County Sheriff's Office and was fired from her position after the arrest.
Looks like 19-year-old Andrew Gadsden won't see bond for an incident that happened on August 12th of this year in Albany. 68-year-old victim Raymond Tilley was found unconscious behind a catering business after allegedly being beaten by Gadsden with a metal object. Gadsden also then proceeded to steal 2 guns and the cash that Tilley had on him. Tilley's injuries included a severe fractured wrist, a left broken forearm, a left skull fracture, and a broken left and right jaw. Tilley is recovering at an Atlanta hospital. Gadsden has been in jail for over a month and is awaiting trial.
29-year-old Fitzgerald citizen Terrence Robinson was sentenced to 10 years in prison Monday by a Valdosta judge. Back in May of 2012, Valdosta police stopped Robinson for a traffic violation, where he then stole the police car and drove away until other officers had to chase him. The car came to a complete stop when Robinson and another police car hit head-on. Robinson was then arrested. Later, when officials searched Robinson's original car before the theft of the police car, they say they found 21 plastic bags containing 400 grams of crack cocaine.
A Thomas County prison inmate and his mother have been arrested and charged with multiple offenses after an eyewitness reported seeing a car pull over on Cherokee Street and throw a black bag out of the car. An inmate then allegedly picked up the black bag and stuck it in his back pocket. The eyewitnesses then proceeded to tell officials about the drop-off, and when the officials searched the bag, they found meth and half a pound of marijuana.
Coming up, find out the dangers of Halloween contact lenses.
And is your home making you sick? Stay with us, we'll be right back.
7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks, more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
Welcome back. Ever wonder why you can't just eat one Oreo cookie?
Recent studies show that the craving of junk food is equivalent to the craving of other pleasurable substances like illegal drugs. Undergraduates at Connecticut College conducted a study that suggests that food can be addictive. Scientists say that the area of the brain that appears in scans when junk food is craved or consumed is the same area detected in scans when people use drugs. Certain foods like Oreo cookies cause that area of the brain to want more, similar to the way addictive drugs can provoke cravings. Although some people see the comparison as a stretch, Some researchers say junk food is still just as dangerous as drugs because of its accessibility and affordability.
The flu is spreading throughout South Georgia, with several people already hospitalized with the respiratory ailment. The area has had cooler weather in the last few weeks, and cool weather aids the spread of flu. But the infection rate in Georgia and other southeastern states is higher than other parts of the country. Flu season in other regions is off to a slow start, according to U.S. health officials. The 16-day federal government shutdown hindered monitoring, but there hasn't been any outbreak so far this fall. The perfect time to get vaccinated is right now. This is the best and most effective way in prevention. Doctors expect 135 to 139 million flu shots to be available this season. So there's plenty of vaccine for all of those who want to beat the flu while it's quiet. If you have the flu, medical experts say you should stay home at least a day to avoid infecting others.
Did you know that some of the most infectious germs can be found in your home? The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say that foodborne illnesses cause about 90% of illnesses, hospitalizations, and deaths. But eliminating these dangerous microbes can be easy. Rearranging your fridge and leaving your shoes at the front door are easy ways to prevent infection. Also, remember that the most effective toxin-destroying product, chlorine bleach, will be your best friend in these situations.
Halloween is almost here, and surprisingly, you must be cautious when selecting your contact lenses. Laura Butler bought decorative blue contacts from a souvenir shop to add to this year's Halloween costume. While trying them out, Butler suffered from corneal abrasion because of the suction cup-like costume lenses that took 20 minutes to remove. Incidents like these are very common, and the FDA is warning consumers to not buy decorative contact lenses for Halloween from outlets that aren't backed by a licensed eye doctor. The agency says decorative contact lenses can be fun, but extremely hazardous as well.
Up next on News Valdosta, Lucas Hicks will give us a look at our local weather.
And Joshua Harrell will give us the best in sports. Stay with us.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Stiller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing you. Believe me, I'm good at it. But at some point, you're gonna need to start pushing yourself.
See, once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell them. You can't change your past, but you can definitely change your future.
That makes me so happy, I'm ready to bust out a dance.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? My gentle technique isn't really working. You need something a little more
persuasive.
Yes.
You listen, and you listen good.
Hey, where's my sandwich? Terry? Terry!
Take it from me, the King DMC. It's a real cool thing to get your GED.
Get that diploma!
Now hold on and we'll find you free GED classes. Capiche?
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back to News Valdosta. The Sable Trail Transmission Organization held an open house at Wiregrass Technical College yesterday to discuss a proposed natural gas pipeline that might run from Florida through South Georgia. The proposal includes 2 possible routes for the Sable Trail. Sable Trail Transmission was awarded a contract for the pipeline project by Florida Power and Light Company. Lowndes County residents aren't happy with either option or the possibility of having multiple natural gas pipelines under their properties. Residents say they feel as though they have no voice in this major decision. Sable Trail would be granted the right to use the land when construction begins and under the construction is completed. A final agreement hasn't been reached yet.
Well, the weekend is a few days away, but how are today and tomorrow looking for us? Our own Lucas Hicks has the weather. Lucas?
Thanks, ladies. Well, we have had some beautiful afternoons so far here in Valdosta lately. It's only going to continue to cool down and feel great with a high of 82 degrees today and sunny skies. Tonight, as we're going, it's going to cool down to a low of 54 degrees and it's also going to be partly cloudy. Tomorrow is going to be much like today with a high of 83 degrees, but partly cloudy. There's only a 10% chance of rain, so you can go ahead and plan those afternoon activities. The UV index is at a scale of 6 today, so if you're outside enjoying this fall season, be careful of those rays so you don't get any skin damage and try and stay in the shade. We have a low pollen count for today and the next couple of days. Only small amounts of residual pollen will remain during this period. Well, that's all for the weather. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Lucas. The Albany-Daltrey Intercity Authority is planning 3 new kayak and canoe launches for the rushing waters of the Flint River. The added launches are planned to boost tourism and economic prosperity in the city of Albany. The project is said to be environmentally as well as recreationally positive. This will also give Albany a chance to be showcased on the Georgia River Network. The new launch points will host several events and marathons for all those interested in kayaking and canoeing. They will also give the individuals different levels of difficulty for navigating the waters.
Coming up, Joshua Harrell will give us the best in sports, including a sports report on Valdosta High's women's basketball team. So don't go away.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on the sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back. Let's see what our sports anchor Joshua Harrell has to say about local sports. Joshua?
Thanks, ladies. Today in local sports, the softball playoffs are in full swing, and not a single team from Region 1-6A is in contention for the title. All the teams were put out in the second round except for Colquitt and Coffee. The Trojans were conquered in the first round by East Coweta, while the Packers were sent packing by the Noonan Cougars. Tift County fell to Kennesaw Mountain, and Lowndes were pummeled by Hill Grove. Women's basketball tryouts are underway at Valdosta High, but there is one problem. Even if the girls make the team, getting recruited by a college can still be difficult. News Valdosta, Pierce Mack has more.
High school basketball season is upon us. I'm here at the Valdosta High School Gymnasium, where the Lady Wildcats basketball team is about to have their opening tryouts.
There were over 20 girls of sophomore, junior, and senior status in attendance for opening tryouts for the women's varsity basketball team for the 2013-2014 season. These hardworking girls are looking to make the final roster cut in order to embark on a journey to carry out the winning tradition and add to last season's success of an Elite 8 berth in the Class 6A women's basketball playoffs. However, this will be somewhat of a challenge with the graduation of Valdosta High all-time leading scorer Storm Phillips, a standout 3-sport athlete for the school who also thrived in the sports of track and field and softball. I asked fifth-year women's head basketball coach Edward Wilcox what his vision was for the team making a deep run in this year's playoffs, and here's what he had to say.
Well, this year what we're trying to do is, go there beyond, go to the Final Four this year at least, and that gives us an opportunity to be seen, because down here in South Georgia, it's very difficult for our girls to be recruited nationally or even regionally, because we don't really have the resources to be able to get our girls out there to be recruited.
The Lady Wildcats basketball team plans on traveling to Jacksonville, Florida on Saturday, November 23rd, where they will compete in a basketball tournament. Their first opponent for the regular season has yet to be determined. With News Valdosta, I'm Pierce Matt.
Colquitt County football is heading to Coffee County Friday night and will put their first place status on the line. You wouldn't think this would be a stressor game since Coffee is only 4-4 and Colquitt is 7-1. The haunting memory of 2006 rings loudly in Coach Prope's ears. The first place Packers hosted the last place Trojans. It was a back and forth game with the Trojans pulling out the win in the third overtime with the score of 39-7. That loss sent the Packers in a downward spiral and came up one game short of making the playoffs. Will this game be a win for the Packers, or will it be a repeat of devastating history? The game will be at Jardine Stadium in Douglas with a start time for 8 p.m. Lowndes football got off to a rough start this season with 2 losses that the team felt should have been wins. News Valdosta Daniel Shadle has more of what the players and coaches are doing to set up for their game.
Coaches and players at Lowndes High School are working hard to turn their season around. They got off to a bit of a rocky start, losing 2 games, but came back with a huge win against their longtime rivals, the Valdosta Wildcats. I had the privilege of speaking with long snapper Jay Culpepper and assistant coach Terry Quinn.
You know, we got off to a rough start against Newton, and 2 weeks later we lost to Colquitt, but our coaches have been really challenging us to overcome the adversity that we're facing as a team. We've been practicing really hard.
You know, we stumbled a little bit, run through little circumstances, and we're just trying to build good team chemistry. But yeah, we played well in the last couple of region games, and we're just taking one region game at a time.
The Vikings will face off against the Camden County Wildcats this Friday in Camden County at 7:30 p.m. For News Valdosta, I'm Daniel Shadle.
With the fall weather, you might be thinking about what happens underneath the Friday night lights. But there's another sport that is picking up steam in the area, and that is swimming. The 1-6A region newest championship, started as recently as 4 years ago, is steadily becoming a coveted prize. All the teams so far have been chasing one team, the Coffee County Trojans. The Trojans have captured every region title on the men's side and all but one on the women's side. The teams around the region have grown in size and quality, possibly making this year's championship meet coming up this season the tightest it's ever been. That's it for sports. Back to you, ladies.
Thanks, Joshua. When we come back, find out what a new study says about texting and driving.
And where you can take your little one this Halloween to win prizes. Stay tuned.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
Welcome back. Researchers at King's College conducted a study that showed that 4 out of 5 college students text while driving. The study also showed that men are more likely to text and drive compared to women, and that men feel they are better drivers and are less likely to hurt someone while texting and driving. Researchers also took information from other studies showing that only 2.5% of people can actually perform more than one task at one time. They also found that texting while driving can slow drivers' reaction times down more than drunk driving.
This weekend, the Valdosta Symphony Orchestra presents bassoonist Dr. Shannon Lowe, who will perform Mozart's Bassoon Concerto in B-flat major and Symphony No. 38 in D major. The concert is scheduled for Saturday at 8 p.m. at Whitehead Auditorium in Valdosta State's Fine Art Building. Tickets will be $25 and you can visit valdostasymphony.org for more information.
Get ready for Valdosta Mall's Malloween Spooktacular. Parents along with their children can come to the mall for a more safe trick-or-treating experience from 5 p.m. to 7 tomorrow night. There will be a costume contest open to children aged 12 and under. Chances to win retail gift cards for children dressed in the best kids' costumes will be available too. Parents must accompany kids, and mall security reserves the right to ask anyone to remove their mask if they feel it's for safety reasons. Registration for the contest starts at 5, and the contest will begin at 6 p.m. sharp.
Thanks for watching News Valdosta. I'm Jennifer Dandrin.
And I'm Stacy Bush. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.